In 1997, I began to research my family history. The first telephone conversation I had with my cousin lasted 3 hours. I don't recall much of what was said during that conversation, but I do remember the first words that she spoke to me. "Do you know about the murder?" My second great aunt, Sarah Ann McMullen, was a patient here at the Buffalo State Hospital from 1891 to 1893. In the year 1890, she took two young girls that she was familiar with out into the middle of Akron Cement Works trestle, which ran through what is now Akron Falls Park. And when she got them out into the middle of the bridge, she pushed, one by one, she pushed them off. It's difficult to fully understand. She had written a suicide note that afternoon. She mentions that she didn't want to die alone, that she wanted to take someone with her. There was an old Celtic practice called sati, and that practice involves passing over from this world into the next with someone to accompany you. I've spent 20 years researching at every detail, trying to familiarize myself with the Buffalo State Hospital, the history of the Buffalo State Hospital, trying to learn about the lives of the individuals with whom my great aunt interacted. There were newspaper articles in which she was interviewed where she talked about how well she had been treated here. And through that process, I learned a lot about the treatment procedures of the Buffalo State Hospital, the individuals who really devoted their lives to doing everything that they could to better the lives of the individuals who were treated here. No one asks to be born with mental illness. No one asks to have mental illness happen to them. I think one of the things that I've learned is that it can happen to anyone. So it's something that affects all of us, in one form or another. And for those of us who've done a study of our own family history, we see those stories, and it's illuminating. One of the buildings we call Building 9. If you go up to the attic, there's a signature on the brick wall up in the attic that was left behind in 1879 by one of the individuals, contractors who worked on the hospital, on the asylum. For me, that's a reminder that we never forget that every person who passed through here left their signature, and then this is in a concrete way. But every person who passed through here had a life, had a name, had family members that they left behind. I think as long as people maintain a reverence for the space, as long as people understand that there were individuals that lost their lives here, as a result of their disease. I think that as long as we understand that as we move through these corridors, that every human soul who passed through these buildings left a bit of themselves behind. I think that as long as people continue to kind of maintain that memory, I think that I'm fine with the reuse of the building. We often don't realize, how much we owe, how much of who we are we owe to those who came before us. And so that's why it's important for me to be a volunteer here and to be in this space and to be able to occupy the space and walk the corridors that these patients walked and that my Aunt Sarah McMullen walked as well.